Sit on the fence and look at the sky. You've listened to lies, your life's passing by. You cry all day long, they've treated me wrong, and long for the night to give up the fight. Tell me why, tell me why, why? Nobody will help you to build up your life, so don't wait too long, your time will be gone. So gather some courage to build your own life. Start using your wings and pull your own strings. You can fly, you will fly high. Over the mountains that prevented you from going high. Make your own choice and listen to your own voice. Wait for a change or good times to come, but you can be sure your life will be done. So get up and walk and grope in the dark. At least you can say, I went my own way. I'm alive, I'm alive, alive. Over the mountains that prevented you from going high. Make your own choice and listen to your own voice.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's lovely to see you all. And also today we are live streaming on YouTube as well. So welcome to those who are watching live or who will be watching at some point in the future. And today's open webinar is on the theme of what is true power. Well, let's start by first closing our eyes and feeling into this body. Just noticing whatever is here. Knowing that it is all welcome to be here. Just the way it is. That you are aware of whatever is here. You are aware of sensation. No matter what the sensation is, you are aware of it. And just bringing your attention to this human, this body, noticing whatever sensations arise. Or if there are any emotions, feelings, just noticing. And the same with thoughts. Just noticing them without adding more value or importance to anything more than anything else. Noticing the breath. The expansion and contraction of the chest and the belly, like waves in the sea. Noticing whatever is presently appearing, whatever wave is here right now, whether it's a wave of sensation or thought, or breath, or sound. Whatever wave is here right now. Noticing it come and then go. every experience arising and falling away, arising and falling away. And you are aware of it all. The only constant when everything is changing you are not changing. You are simply aware, untouched. And again, bringing your attention to the breath, taking some deeper breaths into the belly. And with each breath, noticing how you are here now. And when you're ready, you can open our eyes. So, as I said, our theme today is what is true power? Well, it seems that most of us tend to suppress our true power because it can seem as if I would allow myself to be as powerful as I really, truly am, this seems frightening, terrifying even. Maybe I will be killed, maybe I won't be accepted, maybe I'll be too much for the world, for people around me. The sense of limitlessness is like a death in a way. It's like acknowledging death. Because our true power is our true nature. It's who we are. And when we really acknowledge our true nature and acknowledge that that is our true identity, that is who we really are, that we are not limited to the small me, whatever story you may tell about this small me, good person, bad person, stupid, clever, insecure, shy, whatever, whatever story you might tell that keeps you small and limited to this small identity of me. This also keeps you safe. Keeps you in what is known and familiar. It gives you a way to navigate in the world. But also it means that you don't have to face the death that is your true nature, the limitless power that you are. Because in facing that and acknowledging your true identity as that, you let go and lose everything that you have believed in, everything that you have believed has kept you safe, everything that has felt like it is known and familiar. You lose yourself in a way, who you have thought yourself to be, to life itself, power itself. And when I speak about power, I'm not speaking about being strong or tough or any kind of personal power. Because personal power comes and goes. There may be a day where you feel stronger and more able to face certain challenges in your life. And then other days or moments where you feel like you need to hide and stay safe and small in a way. And these waves of feeling bigger and more strong, more capable, more able to face certain challenges, and then the opposite, they come and go. They're natural, in a way, natural waves of expansion and contraction. So I'm not speaking about how you should always be in that state of expansion, or that you should always feel powerful. The true power is beyond any kind of feeling, any kind of state of experiencing yourself as powerful. It's beyond any mood. All of those moods or states are like the weather. They just come and go, and they can't be relied on to be here forever. But your true power is aware of all of these states and moods and waves. It holds it all, knows it all. It is the ground for all of these passing experiences. this is what makes it so powerful, because it's untouched by any passing personal experience. So when you really acknowledge yourself to be that, then you know the true power that doesn't depend on a passing experience of power, feeling powerful. So when one of those personal, strong experiences come, when you wake up one morning and you feel like, yes, I can face the day. Okay, great. You enjoy it. You ride that wave, but you never expect it to last forever. And you know that when it passes, there will be a wave of needing to take it easy and slow and be a bit more gentle with your vulnerability. And that too is a passing phase, a wave that naturally comes and then goes. And that even if you feel like hiding and you feel like keeping yourself really small and staying safe, that even that doesn't affect your true power. Your true power is so powerful that it doesn't need you to feel powerful. And this doesn't make sense for the mind, because we're not speaking about an experience. You may have an experience when you recognize your true nature. You may have a temporary experience, but like every experience, it will pass. And when we have those moments of recognition, they tend to be beautiful experiences, but they will pass. What doesn't pass is your true nature, your power, your true power, which is always known, even if it's not always experienced. It's known not in the thinking. It's known in a completely different way. In a way that goes beyond words, beyond a belief or faith. You can't not be this. You know already that you are not the story that you tell. You can never be limited to that. You're never that small. When we tell the story of who we're pretending to be, we put ourselves apparently in a very small box. We say, this is me, I'm this tiny little story. And as we tell it, perhaps we have this feeling of, I'm so much more. I'm boundless and free. And yet here I am telling the story of me being in a little box. And that contrast between that sense of knowing and then this little box is such a big contrast, and often quite painful to feel that contrast if you take it seriously. But when you recognize that who you are can never be limited to anything, whether it's an experience or a concept or a little box that you tell, you're never limited to that. Then you can come full circle and tell a story about a me as if you might be this and not that other little box, as if you are limited to this body or this story of me. But you always know that this is just a joke, really. You're only ever playing at being limited. Your true nature is so unlimited, we can't even say it in words. Now I'd love to hear from you. So if you want to have a dialogue, ask a question, you can just raise your hand. You can also type something in the chat. For those of you on Zoom, those of you who are on YouTube, unfortunately, you can't actually participate. I don't respond to questions on YouTube, but maybe next time you want to join in on Zoom. Rose.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I wanted to explore what you said about being the ground.
Yeah.
That's a kind of new, I don't remember hearing that, but it's kind of helpful. Because when I feel in my body, like now, I've just been swimming, so I feel kind of in my body, the ground is kind of tangible. So there's this kind of surrendering, it's like the body and the mind are a bit more equal. Whereas, when I'm not in the body, it's just too much thinking, but I'm tired. It's like, and then this, I don't even know what you said about the ground, but it's like, oh yeah, the ground, the ground is solid. Can I just be the ground? That's not special or just the ground.
Yeah, it feels good to even say it. Huh?
And I love the ground. Yeah, it's just, I love kind of lying in the ground, with my head in the grass, just smelling the ground. And it just makes sense. And it's just so powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's just the ground. There's nothing going on really. It's just kind of.
Yeah, it also is a reminder of the simplicity of life.
Yeah.
Just the ground. Yeah, the ground under your feet. I mean, you can feel it right now if you've got your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Also breathing into the belly. That also gives that feeling of ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Yeah,
making those kind of real deep belly sounds. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also feeling that power, acknowledging the power.
But what's interesting is the power is not being here. It's just this kind of, so it's like a new, I don't know, I can't put words to it, but it's just, I'm so glad I went for that swim because it's just happening. I'm not doing anything. I'm just tired and I'm in my body. So it's power. I feel the power, but I really like that with the simplicity of just the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's the ground in many ways, it's the ground of who you are. Your true nature is the ground for everything else to come and go in it. So even the physical ground is holding whatever happens in your human existence, in your daily life, the ground is always there holding it.
I mean, it just seems so amazing and simple. And then we go back into the ground. So it's just like, why would I be worried about anything? I'm just going back to the ground and I'm on the ground and who knows where I came from, but it's not.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong because the worst that happens is I die and I go back into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, we take ourselves so seriously and we take our thinking so seriously in this short period that we are not in the ground, apparently not in the ground. Above ground, maybe.
Yeah.
And when we take our thinking so seriously, then the experience is of being a bit kind of up here and disconnected from what is true, what is real, from the ground, from our real power. And that's painful to live like that. We long to reconnect with the simplicity, with the ground, with knowing what is real. So it's important to do things like going for a swim or walk bare feet on the ground or lie down and on the ground, and just as a reminder, simplicity of life.
Yeah, it feels really good. Just now it changes. It just feels.
Sure. Yeah. There are times when, as I said, you acknowledge it more, or you're more, feeling that power and groundedness. And then other times, there'll be something you're worried about, and you'll be up in your head again. And a wave of this and a wave of that. But the real ground that you are, that doesn't change, doesn't move.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And someone else, Sid, did you have your hand up?
I did. Good evening. I've always struggled with the power, and this is really, I'm so glad you're exploring this. And I'm afraid of it. I'm the first one to say I'm afraid of power, and I don't even know what that means. And everything you said, as far as living in the little me, is safe. It is secure in a sense. And you're right, there is this dance of knowing and realizing the greater and the more limitlessness of not living in that. I don't know if and I've always kind of thought, well, power is really peace for me. It's like inner peace, equanimity, stability. That's where that's where power could lie or may lie. And I don't know if it's kind of more this social definition or whatever. When I think of power, it's like somebody strong and somebody that's out there charging and making and creating and whatever. And I really recoil from that whole feeling or whatever. And so it's almost like at this point for me, power is almost more a kind of a feeling of integrity and a feeling of totality or truth or whatever. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay to be right there. And if that's all it is, right, I'll just stay here and rock on. And that is wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I love that you raised the fact that that power is also peace and the deepest relaxation. and it doesn't make sense in a way, like how could that be? But actually it's in not needing to do anything or be anyone or go anywhere or get anything or become anything. There's a deep relaxation in that, and in not needing anything. This is your true power. This is your wholeness.
That's absolutely perfect. And like I say, for some reason, I don't know, I always feel like then it's really weird that there's an obligation, or there is that one is supposed to let that power engage in this world in whatever fashion that is.
Yeah.
And that's where maybe I start to get scared and say, oh, I'll love to just go back in that little box and just whatever,
Yes.
be
Yeah,
safe.
because according to the world, you're supposed to be someone, a particular kind of someone, a powerful someone. Then you have to fit into a certain box, a certain way of being. And if you get it wrong, then that's scary, right? You'll be ostracized or rejected or something. And that's when it's scary. Also, when you are needing the world outside to give you validation and say that you are good enough, or powerful enough, or acceptable enough. If you are needing that, then that's when you're keeping yourself very small. And when you realize that nobody out there can give you anything that you don't already have, whatever others or the world might give you are just a temporary experience, and you can't actually take it in even, because you are absolute power. So although you can of course interact with others and the world, and that's the whole play of being alive as these humans, and that goes on, but actually the world out there can never fill anything, any gap that's here, because there isn't a gap here. There isn't anyone really that is needing anything.
Yeah, I get that, and I feel that. Well, it's almost this idea that if one is experiencing or feeling that power, this is my head, I'm supposed to go out and do good, use that power to do good. And I think that's where I kind of go, it's like, no, I'm just fine just being here and being quiet, being silence, and just witnessing and interacting, whatever. And I think that's a little bit.
It's a way also of hiding yourself, because sometimes, we need to take a risk to be someone in the world, to play the game, especially in knowing that it's just a game. This frees you up to really throw yourself into life, to take action, to show yourself as, yeah, I'm this kind of person, I'm doing this, here I am, because as long as we're trying to hide, or even covering the hiding with the kind of maybe trying to be spiritual or at peace or something, but actually the truth is just hiding, or being passive, which is also staying safe. And as long as we're doing that, then we're keeping ourselves very small. Life is about taking risks, really. And it doesn't have to be risking your life every day, but even small risks where you expose your vulnerability, because then you start to come alive, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
it's almost like, what have I got to lose if there is no I? It's like, what have I got to lose? There is no I.
Yeah, exactly. It's only the belief in a separate me or I that could lose anything. You know, if you believe that there's a me, then you've got to protect that. Right? You've got to stay safe, because if you expose yourself and to the world and show your vulnerability, then they'll see what a fraud you are. That you're just pretending to be me, this me that knows something or is this certain kind of person. And actually, it's a relief to expose yourself and to keep exposing yourself, because then you don't have to hide anything. Then the whole of life becomes your playground.
It's really interesting. I can feel an expansion and a contraction as far as being exposed, and then having something that hits hard in the heart and is painful, and then kind of wanting to contract down or whatever. But really feeling what you're talking about, that the ground of my being, the essence of who we are, is just expansive, is just all encompassing, and it can't be wounded even.
No. And paradoxically, this human is very much here and very much here to be felt. And this human can be wounded. You know, and that's the paradox that we live with moment to moment. You know, to just know the absolute or the ground or the power, you know, that's a big aspect of it, of course. That's the bottom line. But within that also is the human. So we can't deny the human. And part of the human experience is that sometimes you want to stay safe, or you need to stay safe, you know, for whatever reason. Maybe life feels genuinely unsafe. You know, so forcing yourself to expose everything is also not the way. It's about actually staying sensitive, because there may be old wounds for this human that come up, you know, and so we stay sensitive and know that, you know, there are moments where we need to kind of just hold ourselves a little bit and curl up in a little ball with ourselves. And then other times when there's a wave of courage to say, okay, this is what's here. But even with those moments when you feel more vulnerable and want to hide, to know that those experiences, those moments are just as included as everything else. This makes all the difference, you know. Those moments, they never mean anything about you. You haven't lost anything or done anything wrong.
It's a dance between the two. And I think that, at least for me, the more that I am aware of the expansiveness and I'm not so identified in the small contracted Sid, the more opportunity that I do have to grow, to heal, and to engage in a loving fashion in life.
That's actually the other aspect of this ground of power, is that in acknowledging that as our true nature is the greatest healing for this human. You know, because this human is welcome to feel and experience whatever is here. And that welcome, that unconditional acceptance, is so deeply relaxing and healing.
And safe.
Yeah,
Very
deeply
safe.
safe. Very, it's the only safety, the real safety.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lucy.
Hi.
Hi.
I just find it so hard to do or be any of that around other people. In my own company.
I missed the last part.
To do or to be any of that around other people, I very quickly lose any in touchness with other people. Either the roles come out, the approval seeking, or just the wanting to belong or be included, or my own sensitivity where I'm just feeling the other. And I find it really hard to just to stay a little bit more with myself and then with the other.
Yeah. This is a lifelong challenge, really, exactly what you're describing, I think, for everybody. And it may be that you have times when you feel more with yourself and other times, completely not. And it's going to kind of come in waves as well, or cycles even, But yeah, these are our survival mechanisms. And so they're going to play out as long as you don't feel safe. And if you don't feel safe with others, then that's understandable, because others can be scary. So it's about also first accepting that, that there's a sense of not feeling safe. And that's okay. That's how it is. That's why you're doing that.
Yeah, it's very painful, to always feel that. Not always. Part of that not feeling safe is feeling a little bit exposed, or maybe exposing something a bit more, vulnerable, as you were saying. And it feels like a very young part, which is very sensitive.
Yeah.
And yet to hide away from that, or to, it's just a real, just not knowing how to navigate that.
Yeah. Well, first acknowledging it for yourself, and feeling that vulnerability. That maybe it's not always the time to be with others. That sometimes it's okay to say, no, I don't feel like being with others right now because I'm feeling particularly vulnerable, and it's time for me to just be with the little child here that just needs a bit of adult protection. And then when you are with others, also taking it easy with yourself, like it's okay if some of those mechanisms play out.
Yeah.
When you can, you just bring your attention back to how you're feeling physically in the body, like, what is being touched there? What is being felt? What does that little child want? What is she looking for? And can she get it?
Yeah, it brings up such a feeling of despondence, in that child, that kind of, if I feel like maybe there's a judgment coming there, I feel like a failure sometimes, that it's always that one that comes out, rather than, where I sell myself short, or I play small, or I don't hold my own, and then, yeah, there's, and maybe the judgment is that I should have done it that way. Maybe that's the harsh part, but
yeah, I mean, again, if you're looking for your true power in how you behave with others, you're not going to find it there. You'll find maybe sometimes you'll be like, yes, I'm standing my ground, but that's not true power.
yeah,
That's just a position, a kind of a position that you play or a role that you play. And then, the opposite would be that keeping yourself small. Those are just passing waves. And, the real ground or real power is that that includes the vulnerability. Even if you play small,
right.
you're not limited to that. So it's okay to play small when you know that you're not really small. So you are aware of the little one in you that has to be, or reaching out. Tell me how to be. Am I okay? You're watching that. So your true identity is not that.
Yeah. I think when I've had senses of this feels easy, I'm at ease, I'm relaxed, I'm in myself, I'm light as well. There's a kind of, there's a humor in it. It's just not serious.
Yeah.
But the majority of the time it's not that. And I think that's where it feels like maybe it always wants to be that, but I know it can't be.
Yeah. It just comes and goes. And also you can play a kind of a game with yourself of taking little risks when you're with others, little risks every so often to expose what is real for you in a way that might feel really risky, to expose what you really want or really feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, but do it playfully, without forcing yourself.
Yeah.
Completely change, just a playful little, even a tiny little risk.
Yeah, I did it with my mum this morning, actually. I went to visit her and I just felt I wasn't relaxed and I was talking too much. And I just said to her, I don't know why I'm talking too much. She wasn't bothered. And even with my mum, but it was bringing something out that I was aware of, but couldn't stop doing,
Yeah. Yeah. When you kind of more and more you turn yourself inside out, you kind of show the world your intestines somehow, you kind of like, this is what's here. It's so much more relaxing. So if you can do that, like just in small ways, exposing yourself, you see that actually it's relatively safe. I mean, the more you do that, the more you realize that actually people tend to accept it and even like it a lot. Of course, they may also have other reactions, but okay, that's part of the risk.
Yeah, there seems a sense of loyalty, self-loyalty in that as well.
Absolutely.
And kindness, even though it's taking a risk, it's kind because it's not hiding that or trying to cover it up. It's just,
it's so loyal to yourself that you're willing to, you put yourself before everything and everyone else by saying, yeah, this is what's here.
Yeah.
Not in a kind of pushy way either. You just, this is just what's here.
Yeah, I'm going to explore that in a light and playful way. Try and, yeah.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Heidi.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You were talking about the limitlessness, like as a death,
Mm.
like dying.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have the feeling of actually, after having let go of a lot of things, actually rejecting a lot of things and not feeling motivated at all to do anything. And now it's like it's turning, but in this meantime, I'm experiencing it like I'm just looking at life. Actually, I'm thinking about a friend, but it's like being a ghost in your own life, not being the main character and or the star in your, you call it story or the movie. And the experience is that my friend is actually like being me or playing me. It's a very strange experience.
Okay.
For instance, I've been cooking a lot and don't cook at all right now, and she's never cooked and she's cooking all the time, things like that. Or another friend is buying leather trousers with. You're not the one that. It's very, very, all those identities.
Yeah.
It's very humbling, I think, or like strange and very humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. You see that actually you're not any particular identity. You don't fit in any box. So
No.
you're then free to be anyone.
Yeah.
And this is very playful, actually.
It's beginning to be, it's been very confusing or
Can be also. Mm.
completely without direction or
Mm.
no goals, no.
Yeah. You have to find a different way to navigate in life.
Yeah.
Not from the thinking anymore, not from a wanting to get somewhere or something for me.
Yeah.
But more feeling into life and where life is moving this person.
Yeah. Now, in this moment.
Now, yeah.
There's not even a reference point or
No.
a point from which you used to orient in life. Not even that.
And that's, it's disorientating.
Yeah.
But it's also freedom.
It's freedom, yes.
It's disorientating for the thinking, the mind, that wants to kind of say, this is who I am, or this is how it is.
Yeah. This is how we are going to earn some money.
Yeah.
Rent.
Yeah, this is how to survive. Yeah. But in being gentle with yourself as this human, and being gentle with the thinking that wants to kind of know how to be or how to live, we can include all of that wanting to know, wanting to pin myself down, but just not take it seriously. You don't have to get rid of it or push it away. It's a joke, actually. It wants to know and it wants to say this is how it is, but it can never know.
No.
So that's why it's so
And it's
welcome.
exhausting, even trying to figure something out. It's completely exhausting.
Yeah, if you take it seriously, it's exhausting. If
Yeah.
you don't take it seriously, then it's free just to kind of blah 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 blah, chatter away, but it doesn't disturb anyone or take any energy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Heidi.
I'm looking when the risk taking is starting.
The risk taking.
Yeah.
Well, right now, why not?
Yeah. Don't feel moving a lot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I think we'll end there for today. And first of all, I want to thank those of you who've made some donations. I really appreciate that. And you can still make a donation on my website. There's a donation button. And also in 2 weeks, I'm holding a retreat, 5-day retreat here in Holland. And there are still a few places available. So if you want to join me in person, that would be wonderful. But you can also join me online. Yeah, and all the information's on my website. So I look forward to seeing you. I think, well, I know that some of you are coming for sure. So it's going to be great to actually meet you live in the flesh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then the next open webinar will be on the theme falling in love with myself next month. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much, everyone. Lots of love.